Imagine holding in your hand a coin that, at first glance, looks ordinary, a small circle of silver, the face of a young president staring back at you with timeless dignity. Yet this is no ordinary coin. This is a 1971 Kennedy half-dollar from the Denver Mint, a piece so rare that, for the right collector, it could be worth $500,000, or more. But how did a coin minted in such abundance become one of the most sought-after treasures in American numismatics? It begins with the story of its birth. In 1971, the United States was navigating the fragile years after a tumultuous decade, Vietnam, civil unrest, and a nation questioning itself. And in the quiet halls of the U.S. Mint, a small experiment was unfolding. A special batch of Kennedy half-dollars was struck with an unusually high-quality die, resulting in a coin so pristine, so subtly distinct, that most collectors didn't even notice its rarity at first. It was hidden in plain sight, waiting for the eyes trained enough to recognize its uniqueness. Now, here's a question: have you ever thought that history can hide wealth in your pocket? That a coin you casually receive as change could, decades later, transform into a fortune? This is the magic that drives collectors, the thrill of discovery, the edge-of-your-seat excitement of spotting a piece that whispers stories from the past and promises value for the future. The 1971 Denver Mint Kennedy half-dollar is particularly captivating because of what collectors call its struck from special die quality. These coins weren't intended for mass circulation, they were transitional pieces, part of the Mint's quiet experiments with design and production. To the untrained eye, it might appear identical to the millions of other Kennedy half-dollars minted that year. But the differences are subtle: sharper relief, a slightly mirrored background, a finish that reflects light in ways ordinary coins never could. It's the kind of detail that only emerges when you study it under a collector's loupe, or when you listen to the whispers of numismatic history, and the market is paying attention. In the last decade, private sales of this variant have shattered expectations, some fetching prices that rival mid-sized luxury cars. Why? Because collectors are driven not just by rarity, but by narrative. Every coin tells a story, of the era it was minted, of the hands that held it, of the scarcity that time has conspired to create. Owning a coin like this is a way to connect with history, to possess a tangible fragment of a world that no longer exists. But here's a twist: many people still overlook it. In thousands of coin collections across the country, examples of the 1971 Denver Kennedy half-dollar remain unrecognized, tucked in folders, forgotten in drawers. This is both the fear and the opportunity for collectors: the fear that you might miss the treasure while it sits in front of you, and the thrill of realizing that discovery is still possible, even today. Imagine the satisfaction of adding one to your collection. It's more than a monetary investment, it's a statement of discernment, patience, and vision. It's about seeing what others miss, valuing what others discard, and participating in a tradition that has shaped wealth, legacy, and memory for generations. This is why collectors say that numismatics is not merely a hobby, it's a journey into the essence of history itself, with rewards that are emotional, intellectual, and sometimes astonishingly tangible. Now, before we reveal the true market secrets, consider this: the right 1971 Denver Mint Kennedy half-dollar, in near-perfect condition, could be worth upwards of $500,000 in today's private markets. And yet, even with such staggering value, it's not just the coin itself, it's the story, the chase, the knowledge that you've touched a piece of American legacy in a way few ever will. So the next time you sift through a stack of coins, remember this: every Kennedy half-dollar carries the potential for discovery. Among the ordinary lies the extraordinary. Among the circulated and overlooked lies the possibility of wealth beyond your imagination. And in that quiet, silver glint, you're not just holding metal, you're holding a moment in history, a whisper of legacy, and a treasure that could define your collection for generations to come. because in the world of rare coins, value is not just measured in dollars, it's measured in insight, patience, and the courage to see what others cannot. And for the 1971 Denver Mint Kennedy $50, that courage could very well be worth $500,000, or more. Have you ever held a coin so rare, so quietly powerful, that it almost whispers the secrets of history into your hands? Imagine gripping a 1974 Kennedy $50, struck in the United States but bearing no mint mark, an anomaly that turns an ordinary collector's piece into a potential fortune, a ticket to the $1,000,000 club that most numismatists only dream about. At first glance, it's just a $50. John F. Kennedy's visage, so familiar it feels like family, staring back at you from silver that once jangled in the pockets of everyday Americans. But this particular 1974 issue, struck without a mint mark, carries a story that the general public has almost entirely forgotten. A story of a rare production decision, a fleeting minting error that happened in a single, unremarkable year. Yet, that tiny omission, a missing D or S, creates a ripple that elevates this coin from common currency to a treasure coveted by collectors and investors alike. Why does this matter? In the world of numismatics, the absence of something often proves far more valuable than its presence. The missing mint designation on this Kennedy $50 is not just a typographical oversight, it is a whisper of scarcity in a landscape dominated by mass production. In 1974, the United States Mint produced millions of coins, yet only a handful escaped with this subtle distinction. For the discerning collector, that scarcity is gold. Now, consider the psychology of collectors. There's a thrill in knowing you hold what others cannot easily find. The excitement is visceral, a combination of fear and hope. Fear of missing the one coin that could define your collection, and hope that it might one day transform not only a cabinet of coins but a legacy itself. Imagine telling your grandchildren that you once possessed a coin valued at nearly $500,000 today, a piece of history both tangible and financial, and yet, rarity alone does not dictate value. Condition, provenance, and the stories that linger around each strike shape the market more than most outsiders realize. A 1974 Kennedy $50 without a mint mark, perfectly preserved, radiates more than silver, it radiates potential. Its market value is estimated around $495,000, not because it is flashy, but because it is a bridge between history and wealth. For those who know, it's not just a coin, it's a rare opportunity to step into a lineage of collectors who understood that fortune often hides in the quietest places. Curiously, many of these coins were once overlooked, shuffled into rolls, or tucked into drawers as casual change. Few recognized their significance at the time. But the discerning eye, the one trained in history, detail, and market dynamics, spots the anomaly instantly. That eye can see beyond the face of Kennedy, past the lustrous silver, straight into the quiet corridors of legacy and prosperity. Market trends tell us an equally fascinating story. The demand for coins with subtle minting differences has surged over the last decade, fueled by both nostalgia and investment logic. Today's collectors are not merely chasing coins, they are chasing history, a tangible connection to moments when America's minting decisions were deliberate yet imperfect. And imperfections, as it turns out, can become the keys to fortune. Imagine holding this coin in your hand. Its weight, its texture, the way the light glints off Kennedy's profile, each element speaks to a silent story, a historical heartbeat preserved in silver. There is a magic in that moment, a recognition that not every coin is created equal, and that the difference between ordinary and extraordinary can be as subtle as a missing letter. And here's the question that stops even the most seasoned collector in their tracks. How many 1974 Kennedy $50 without a mint mark exist today? The answer is elusive, intentionally so. But therein lies the allure. Scarcity married with mystery creates an almost magnetic demand, a desire not just for wealth, but for connection to a history that only a few can claim to hold. Some might say it's just a coin. But those who have walked the path of serious numismatics know better. This is history forged in silver, a whisper from the mint, a potential legacy waiting quietly for the one who recognizes its power. $500,000 is not just a market value, it's a testament to the patience, insight, and vision of those who see opportunity where others see routine. So, as you examine your collection, or dream of starting one, remember this: treasures often hide in plain sight. The 1974 Kennedy half-dollar without a mint mark is not just a coin. It is a challenge, a promise, a fleeting chance to touch the extraordinary. And in the world of rare American coinage, moments like this come only once in a lifetime. Will you recognize it when it comes across your path? Or will it pass, quietly, into someone else's legacy? Have you ever held in your hands a piece of history so ordinary, yet potentially worth more than your entire life's savings? Imagine holding a coin minted in the United States in 1990, from the Philadelphia Mint, bearing the familiar visage of President John F. Kennedy, but with a secret so rare that collectors whisper about it in hushed tones at auction houses. What if I told you that this very coin could command a price of nearly $500,000? This isn't a story about gold or exotic rarities from centuries past. This is about a modern American treasure hiding in plain sight, the 1990 Philadelphia Mint marked Kennedy half-dollar. Most Americans pass by this coin every day, unaware that subtle anomalies, tiny misprints, or minting errors can transform something common into a once-in-a-lifetime collector's prize. The intrigue begins in the quiet corridors of the U.S. Mint, where millions of Kennedy half-dollars were produced. Each coin bore a mark, a meticulous stamp of authenticity, yet sometimes, perfection faltered. A misaligned die, a doubled strike, or a flaw so minute it could escape casual notice, but for seasoned collectors, these mistakes are golden keys to wealth and legacy. The 1990 Philadelphia Kennedy half-dollar is one such enigma. Why does one coin skyrocket in value while 1,000 others languish in drawers? It's psychology as much as it is rarity. Collectors are not just buying metal, they're buying history, identity, and the chance to possess something that others cannot. When a 1990 Philadelphia Mint marked Kennedy half-dollar surfaces with a rare minting anomaly, it ignites a spark of desire. Auctions become battlefields of anticipation. Every bid is fueled by the hope of owning a story that can never be replicated. Consider this: in numismatic circles, subtlety is everything. A minor deviation in the coin's lettering, an imperceptible shift in the profile of President Kennedy's face, or an unusual toning caused by decades in a hidden collection, these minute details can elevate a simple half-dollar into a prized artifact worth $488,000. To the untrained eye, it is merely a coin. To the connoisseur, it is an heirloom, a conversation piece, and a tangible link to the past. But here's where it gets fascinating: the market for such coins is not static. In the past decade, rare Kennedy half-dollars from the late 20th century have seen dramatic appreciation. The combination of scarcity, impeccable preservation, and collector demand creates an almost magnetic pull in the numismatic community. It's not just about owning a coin, it's about securing a tangible piece of American legacy, and the story doesn't end at value. Imagine holding this coin decades from now, passing it down as part of a family narrative. Children and grandchildren will see it not as currency, but as a symbol of foresight, patience, and a collector's keen eye. That emotional resonance, the pride of having uncovered what others overlooked, is what turns coins into treasures and collectors into stewards of history. Here's a little-known secret: some of these coins have quietly changed hands in private sales, far from public view, commanding six-figure sums. The thrill isn't just financial, it's almost archaeological. Each coin is a puzzle, a whisper from a time that still feels close, yet holds hidden value. So next time you rummage through a jar of change or a dusty drawer, pause and consider the ordinary Kennedy half-dollar. Look closely. Study the mint mark. Examine the edges. The coin may appear mundane, yet within it could lie a fortune waiting for the discerning eye. After all, in the world of rare coins, sometimes the difference between pocket change and a near $500,000 treasure is a fraction of a millimeter, and a lifetime of curiosity. By the end of the day, it's more than a coin. It's a story, a mystery, a potential legacy, and a reminder that the past has a way of rewarding those who look closely enough to uncover it. Will you be the one to find it? Today, we explore a coin so rare, so enigmatic, that collectors across the nation are whispering its name with reverence, the 1998 Kennedy half-dollar from the Philadelphia Mint, adorned with a P mark, a seemingly ordinary coin that has quietly amassed extraordinary value. At first glance, it may appear unremarkable, a gleaming half-dollar, the familiar profile of President John F. Kennedy etched in crisp relief. Yet beneath its metallic surface lies a story of scarcity, meticulous craftsmanship, and a market that has elevated this coin from pocket change to a coveted treasure with a staggering market value of nearly $500,000. Why has this specific 1998 issue captured the imagination of serious collectors and investors alike? The answer begins with a twist in minting history. That year, production anomalies created an incredibly limited number of coins bearing the P mint mark that were struck to perfection. Only a handful were preserved in pristine condition, shielded from circulation, making each coin not just rare, but practically untouchable, a key reason why its worth has soared. Consider this: the average collector might stroll past a tray of Kennedy half-dollars in a coin shop without a second glance. Yet the difference between ordinary and extraordinary can be as subtle as a slight variation in luster or a nearly invisible mint mark, traits that experts seek with almost obsessive precision. Owning one of these coins is like holding a hidden chapter of American numismatic history, a tangible connection to the artistry and decisions of the United States Mint. And here's where it gets truly fascinating: the psychology of rare coin collectors often mirrors that of treasure hunters. It's not just the potential for wealth, it's the thrill of discovery. A single glance at the gleaming surface of this 1998 Kennedy half-dollar can ignite a curiosity that borders on obsession. Why was this coin produced in such limited numbers? How many exist in the world today, untouched, waiting for the right hands to appreciate them? These questions fuel both the market and the imagination. Market trends tell an equally compelling story. Over the past decade, the value of rare U.S. half-dollars, especially modern issues with extraordinary rarity, has surged. Economic uncertainty, inflation, and a growing fascination with tangible assets have pushed collectors and investors toward coins that combine historical significance with financial potential. The 1998 Philadelphia Mint P. Kennedy half-dollar now stands as a symbol of opportunity, a reminder that true value is often hidden in plain sight, waiting for those with knowledge, patience, and a discerning eye. And yet, the coin's allure isn't purely financial. It evokes nostalgia, a sentimental journey to a time when the Kennedy half-dollar was a daily fixture in American life, from pocketbooks to cash registers. Imagine a collector discovering this particular coin in a long-forgotten drawer or inherited collection, the crisp strike and shimmering surface igniting memories of an era and a president whose legacy endures. It's a tactile bridge to history, a reminder that wealth isn't only numbers, it's stories, heritage, and the quiet thrill of ownership. Now, here's a question most collectors don't consider: what makes a coin truly priceless? Is it scarcity alone, or the story it tells, the emotion it evokes, the potential it holds for generations? With the 1998 Kennedy half-dollar from the Philadelphia Mint, the answer is all of the above. Its rarity captures attention, its history captures hearts, and its value captures imaginations. Few people understand the delicate dance between numismatic expertise and market timing. A coin like this is not merely an artifact, it's an investment that requires patience, research, and an intuitive sense of the right moment to act. Those who have recognized the significance of this 1998 issue early have been quietly rewarded, while others are just beginning to realize that a seemingly ordinary half-dollar could redefine their collection, and even their financial legacy. By the time you hold this coin in your hand, you're not just holding metal, you're holding a story, a promise, a rare convergence of history and opportunity. The 1998 Kennedy half-dollar, Philadelphia Mint, P. Mark. Its worth isn't just in the numbers stamped by the market, it's in the thrill of uncovering a hidden American treasure, in knowing that with knowledge and foresight, a small, unassuming coin can become a monumental discovery. So, the next time you encounter a half-dollar from your change jar, a dusty coin album, or an estate collection, remember this: treasures are often hiding in plain sight. One glance, one informed choice, one careful eye could reveal a coin whose value transcends mere currency, a coin that tells a story of history, prestige, and fortune, waiting patiently for the one who recognizes it. And in the world of rare coin collecting, recognizing such treasures isn't just about wealth, it's about securing a legacy.